Good evening, everyone. I would like to welcome you to another episode of TXK State of Mind podcast. Tonight, we have a very special duo of guests. They're here representing the new T-shirt reference design business, Local Lore. I would like to welcome Miss Samantha and Mr. Weston Miller to the stage. Welcome, you guys.
Hello.
Hey, Jeremy. Thanks for having us, man.
Yes, sir. I first learned of Local Lore when I was doing an interview for my food segment, Food is Love TXK with the same page. And they talked about how all the great things you guys are doing and how you will be a wonderful set of guests to come on and talk with us and to have a little conversation about your role that you're playing in the revitalization of the downtown area and TXK County in particular, but also to talk about how you guys are using art, as you put in your tagline, using art to create unity in the community. So I want to give you a chance to come on and have a little candid conversation with you about your business, about your passion, about your vision of where Local Lore is, where you want it to go, and the presence that you want it to have. So again, welcome to the stage and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, cool. I'm Wes Miller. This is my wife, Samantha Miller. I teach school at Bloomberg. I'm a math teacher. She's a teacher by trade, and we do all kinds of other stuff on the side. And we're just those people that always have random ideas and random things that we want to do.
We're big time dreamers. We're like, well, you know what we could do?
Yeah.
And this is one that took off.
Yeah, this is one that we've kind of had on the back burner because for years we were in bands and, playing around, and you always need t-shirts, and you've always got these cool ideas for t-shirts and stuff like that. And one of the things that Samantha and I are just passionate about is like our area, and it doesn't seem like anybody draws a whole lot of attention to it, but like in this region, there's just a lot of cool history, a lot of cool stories. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't seem like there's many people that are like pointing at those things. And I guess like what sort of made us just decide to go for it is, you see all this like division and people want to argue about just about anything. And so our whole thing was like, how can we leverage like these similar experiences that everybody shares in this region to just create some kind of unity, I don't know if people want to argue about everything, but is there a way that we can take these shared legends or shared history and all those things and sort of like find some commonality rather than just going at each other's throats all the time.
One of my favorite I don't know, it was a long time ago. We weren't even thinking about doing shirts, but the concept of the community about local things. We went to the Pro to watch the Boggy Creek Monster. And they were showing it, and it was so much fun to go in and talk to, I think it was the Crabtrees, I might be wrong, but the people who did the movie and everything. But whenever we were watching it, everyone was like dying laughing, like during the whole movie when it's supposed to be serious, and they're like cracking up because like that's their family members and stuff like that. But it's like all these people who don't know each other, but they've seen it, and I don't know. There was just something so fun together about that.
It was a really cool moment. Like I don't know if you've ever seen the movie or know anything about the movie, but that movie's interesting because it's shot on like, there's like no budget. They just used a whole bunch of local people, for that movie. So we're sitting in the Pro, and like all these people that are in the movie or family members of the movie, like somebody will come on screen and you hear this group over here start laughing or whatever. And I don't know, I think that was kind of just this cool moment of like, okay, art can bring people together, and we don't have to be so serious all the time.
Exactly, man. I think that's one of the things that kind of drew me to you, because I see your shirt that you got on tonight.
Got it on.
Boggy Creek Monster. I grew up on, it's old, created in the 70s, but I watched that movie so many times, plus The Town That Dreaded Sundown. I think my daughters are tired of me. I always watch it several times a year because I just like to hear the screams and see the people. And I'm like, I know that guy,
The Town That Dreaded Sundown, I had never seen until recently. Like I've always been infatuated with like the actual case and all that kind of stuff. But I had never seen the movie until recently. And I was like surprised because I think the same guy directed both of them. And I was surprised because Town That Dreaded Sundown holds up. Like shots look good, the audio sounds good, and like you can see where the police station used to be, like where the old train station is and stuff, and it's yeah.
You can still see like the shape of the design if you go down and look at it. And that's one of the things that I liked about your business as I started researching it a lot more and kind of delving into how you came about getting the name Local Lore. And it intrigued me. And the main thing I want people to learn from you is to just know what Local Lore is about, what it's built on. So talk to us a little bit about your vision, your identity of your business. How would you describe the identity of Local Lore?
You want to handle that, or you want me to?
I will stumble on words so much. Basically, Local Lore. It came out of it kind of came out at the time it shut down at first.
Yeah.
Which I'm gonna show you the shirt real fast.
All right.
Looking at it, thinking about it. This was our first design right here. I don't know. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see that's good. I kind of checked it out earlier.
So that was our first one. And the thing is that, through shared experiences, like Wes was saying, like we all experience it in different ways. It might be something that we heard from our grandma or saw a movie on or saw this or that, but in one way or another, it kind of connects us all. But really our biggest thing is like community, through the art and designs, through the local things that we're attached to, even the Grin, and things like that.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I think that kind of sums it up. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And when you think about trying to tie the unity in the community, we kind of talked about that a little earlier before we jumped on. What role do you want to play in creating that unity in our community, where you're utilizing not only just your business but your platform as a teacher in one of our local school districts, a little bit of ways, but it's still part of that Texarkana metro area. So, what role do you want to be able to utilize those two aspects, unity and community?
I think for us is just and we did talk about this a little bit beforehand, but there's always, and I don't know what it is, like I didn't grow up in Texarkana, so I think that people grow up here, wherever you grow up, you have a tendency to talk negatively about, like that's just what the natural tendency is. And maybe because I didn't grow up here, like I don't have any of those feelings or emotions.
No,
of course, she grew up here.
I used to.
and
we
so
all did,
I think we see ourselves as just somebody, we really want to be these people that are just for the community, and we're always looking for creative ways to like uplift other businesses and like help kind of draw everybody together for this common goal of just kind of revitalizing Texarkana. Like we were talking about before, constantly hear people talk about there's nothing to do in Texarkana, especially like family stuff, and it's just like y'all aren't paying attention because there is, and I think the more that we can bring awareness to like, hey man, like there is this family friendly thing going on, like come get plugged into this, come be a part of it, and people our age do have this tendency to sort of just take this back seat. I think a lot of us haven't realized like we're adults yet. It's bad, and I'm the worst, man. Like I really am, but just realizing that, like we are a democracy, and like if there are enough of us that kind of band together and are like for our community, like we can change it and make it into whatever we want it to be, Yeah. So we want to do that, and we're always looking for ways to like partner with other businesses that benefit them. Like for example, Same Page, we've sort of partnered with them. You've been to their location, you know where it is. It's sort of, you don't see it from Broad Street. It's kind of a difficult location. So we're always looking for ways that we can have mutually beneficial relationships. Like we don't have a shop, so we need a pickup location where people order stuff, don't want it shipped. So we send it to the Same Page. Now they've got people walking through their door that wouldn't have otherwise, and they buy something, we benefit because now we've actively got a storefront, and so we're just always looking for those kinds of ways to kind of draw everybody together. Same with the Hotel Grim thing.
I think it's like locals supporting locals. That's the biggest thing, because
it is.
If the locals can't support each other, then I don't know how far we're going to get.
You guys are absolutely correct. That's one of the reasons why my focus is like whether I'm doing my TXK Conversations, what we're doing tonight, or I'm doing my Food is Love TXK, or even I have like a little trio with I call the TXK Mate. I'm going to try to highlight the smaller businesses, the people that are on the ground level, in the dirt, building that's going to shape our community. Because if you think about it, you have those people like Velvet Cool, you have the people at Stain Page, you have the people like Will over at MEPs and yourself, and the crew over at the Hotel Grill, and all the people that are formulating a plan to be able to bring life back into Texarkana, downtown Texarkana, on both sides. Because we're one, when people think about Texarkana, they don't, unless you're from here, they don't equate it to being in two different states. Unless you get here and get to know us. So they just know Texarkana. So as I see the people that are actually in there getting the ground level things done, those are the things I want to highlight, all the work that's being done, because I liken downtown to the heart of the body of Texarkana. That's our heart.
Yeah.
We get the heart healthy, everything else is going to branch out and start to grow. That blood is going to start to flow. So I think as we're building that heart up, getting back heart healthy in the downtown space, I think that's going to be spill over into everything that's going on. You guys are doing an integral part, are going to be an integral part of that.
I hope so.
Yeah,
and I think the more like-minded people that we can find and band together, because that's what's really cool about this to me is, like realizing how many people there are out there that are like absolutely share our same passion,
Right.
Like there's a lot of us, and the more we get active and the more we get vocal and the more we get out there doing things, like you said, like that lifeblood's gonna start flowing, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, we were just talking a few minutes ago, and we were talking about how you guys went on your first date to the Quadrangle Festival. I think back to that, and growing up as a kid, that was like a big thing. That festival, they used to have downtown, and it was like a time for all the community to gather for something that united them. So I'm looking at all the stuff that's going on, especially with Texarkana Live, and I want you to guys kind of talk about what your role is for this month's Texarkana Live that's going on Friday. How you're partnering with the Hotel Grim Loft to be able to bring in a band, and I love the commercial you guys did, by the way, coming downstairs with the coffee. I love that.
Comes from us is going to be something.
There's always going to be something goofy, yeah.
So talk to us about that partnership, because you guys are doing a lot of partnerships with the Stain Page, but also with the Grimm. So talk to us about that partnership and what we can expect coming up this Friday for Texarkana Live.
For us, and we're two people that, and I guess you got to understand, for us, like downtown is in our DNA. Like,
right.
Like all our first dates were down there. She was living in Berman Far when we first started dating. Okay. Our first, we're actually like in ministry and stuff too. And like our first ministry was on the corner of there's an old building on Broad in Texas.
It was called Old Evelyn.
Homeless ministry. So like everything about our foundation is downtown. And if you know anything, if you spent any time downtown, like the Grimm's kind of the pinnacle, like it's just. So it's always been this like.
In fact, when we were doing our homeless ministry, we can't get in trouble now. It's like
there's probably a statute of limitations. Is there a statute of limitations on breaking and entering?
It was an abandoned building then. So.
Back in the day, whenever we were kidless and we were just married and we were doing our homeless stuff downtown, I meant to tell you that's upside down.
I thought I just knocked it loose.
I'm sorry. Anyway, whenever we were doing that, one of our homeless friends lived in there, and he was like, "You guys want to come see it?" We're like, "Yes." And so he took us all the way in there, and we have a lot of stories from there. But anyway, we're just excited to see it like real and like just coming to life, because even back then, I mean, like to see the tile work that we saw, how it was then, like just like re-sparkle. It's just so kind of magical.
Yeah. So for us, this is just a huge thing, because like I said, like it's the crown jewel of downtown, So we started researching, and because we really wanted to do a Hotel Grim shirt like that is the embodiment of Texarkana for us and for a lot of people, you know. And we started doing the research, and I think we probably could have got away with just slapping it on a t-shirt or whatever. But like I said, like our thing is like making as many relationships as we can. So we reached out to the information officer, I forget her name, at the city of Texarkana. She pointed us right in the direction of Cohen Esri, like the guy that's in charge of that development or whatever. And I just sent one of those emails that you don't think you're going to get a response to at all. You know, like you just, I mean, this dude, like, you know, they're from somewhere off of right, like out, you know, east of here somewhere. Didn't have to take the time to respond to my email or anything, but he's like, yeah, use the name, use the likeness, hope you sell a lot of shirts, you know.
Oh, we can't even tell you how excited we were. We were actually sitting in church and we saw like an email pop up, and Wes is like, I'm not going to open it yet. He's like, I'm going to wait. Like, we're just so excited.
So then as time goes on, we realize that we actually know Samantha Jones, who's the property manager.
Didn't
realize that we knew her or anything. So it's been this like totally organic kind of relationship. And so, you know, that I don't, a lot of people don't even know this, but I'm finding out that a lot of people don't even know that like you can go and submit your application and go ahead and get your room now. You know, a lot of people don't even know. But renovations are there, they're done. So there's still got rooms to fill. And so that's kind of what this was born out of. Well, and Samantha Jones, I don't know if you got a chance to talk to her too, but her heart is for, she's kind of very much like-minded. Like she wants community work together. How can we all help each other, you know? Kind of mind. So we just got to talking with her, and it was like, listen, like a lot of people don't even know this place is open. Let's just do something together. It benefits you, it benefits us.
Right. And in the same page, like they just, I don't know, everything that we do, they like, I don't know, we just do everything the same. And so we kind of slid them in there. We're like, hey, do you want the same page to come over here too?
Yeah.
You know, just like, yes. But they're actually going to be at their own location, but they're going to send coffee with us, so we're going to serve it for them. So they'll be open in both spots.
And then we've got a buddy that does music. Samantha suggested we get music. So
he's going to come play acoustic. And Wes suggested that he plays Hotel Grim Texarkana.
Yeah.
Instead of Hotel California.
I'm looking forward to that.
If you're watching, I need the cover. It's going to be so awesome. But it was just one of those things that the way it all came to be, and it might not be a big deal for anyone else, but for us, this was just as cool as it can get. You know, like we've created this piece of art and we're going to be, you know, there in the building. And like, I don't know if you've got to tour that place yet, but like hats off to Cohen Esri and like the city of Texarkana, because they did such a good job of like respecting that place's heritage and its history, because so much of the tile work is intact, so much of the architecture is intact, and it's just really, really cool to see like that balance of like anything, and there's a lot new life and a new purpose now, but there's still so much respect for what it was, you know, like they kept the name Grimm, it's lost at the Grimm, so much of the same architecture and all that kind of stuff. It's just it's really, really cool, you know, and I think it's just awesome.
I'm looking forward to it. I'll be there Friday. Hopefully get a tour and check out everything. I drive by a lot because I often drive through downtown, around town, just trying to see if there's any new development popping up. If I see a pad of any kind of construction pad, I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
Exactly.
So with the everything you do with the community and trying to impart unity with everything you do with your business, you're still a business. So what has been the biggest thing that you saw as new business owners? I know originally you started as teaching, but now you've ventured into the space where you're now business owners of a pretty bustling and will be thriving business. So what has been the biggest accomplishment or the biggest aha thing that you found as a business owner?
Ooh, I don't know. I have a hard time. Honestly, I have a hard time thinking with a business mindset, and I probably shouldn't say that because I'm a math teacher. Like the numbers and stuff all make sense to me, but like my most difficult and challenging thing is I'm pretty eccentric, and I like what I like, but having to learn like, okay, but can I sell this? Like,
Right.
I'm weird. I like it, but are there 100 other people out there that want to buy it? And
yeah, I think I'm glad that this is the biggest thing right now, because we're running this out of our house, and we would love to have a building downtown, like we would love to do that eventually, but right now our biggest thing is figuring out what people want and what people will connect to. And so, the purpose of local lore is also teaching about history. I guess that's where our teacher comes in. But like for the Grimm, like teaching about the Grimm, teaching about what actually happened that we know of with the Phantom Killer. And then also we've talked about getting into like Black history, especially, Juneteenth is like kind of come up, and I've been talking to a few people. I'm just like, what I'm realizing, like, all the things that we do, like I want to connect with all communities, you know what I'm saying? And so, we just learned about the Jameson building. I had no clue about the Jameson building. That's incredible. And
it's stuff like that nobody knows about, and nobody talks about, and like it breaks my heart to go by and like see that place in shambles. It's like this should be a museum, and I know money's always a thing, but
the historical value. Have y'all had a chance to go in it, get a tour of it?
No.
It's amazing.
Can you do that?
Probably call the owners, the family. I know I had a chance to go tour it, and I was able to, the downstairs there were all the shops. I actually frequent that place because when I was a child, my barber was actually there. So he was there was the in part, which is the actual pharmacy that was there, the little shop. And then next to that was Archie's barbershop, and I would go there and get my haircut. But upstairs, if you go upstairs, there's a big parlor there, and then that's the location where they will have all the offices for like all the Black doctors, the business professionals, and a lot of those names are still on those glass doors, the glass panes of those doors. Awesome. So when you walk through there, it's like you're taking a step back into time. And so cool. That whole part of town was like, I guess you would say, was the African American infrastructure from, I say, when you go from Maine over back towards Kitopia, that whole little area. So there's a lot of history there, and I'm hoping like we can get either that block refashioned to what it looked like. I know a lot of the buildings have fallen due to fires or disrepair, but I'm hoping they can get a plan in place to get that part of town back on track. So
that's the other kind of branch of things that we want to do is like get into like YouTube and all that kind of stuff, and sort of doing this background educational kind of thing on, that circles right back to unity. Like a lot of people don't understand that, some of the racial tensions and those kinds of things. A lot of people have this mindset of why are we still talking about it? They don't realize that in Texarkana, like we were busting in the 70s, like this is not some ancient history.
It's really early. It's still fresh.
Yeah.
But that's our biggest thing. Is like we want to make local lore more than just a shirt or an apparel company. We want to have it like almost like a multimedia space, and do, we've talked about maybe later on we could have tags on our shirts that have QR codes that go to informational videos that we've created that go with the shirts. So that'd like what you're wearing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be nice. It'd be really nice. So I really like everything that you're doing. And then as a new business, for anybody else that is listening, is going to go back and listen to the video, because I'll recycle it all throughout the weekend. Anybody that's listening, learning about local lore, and they want to get connected with you to kind of get a shirt designed of something that they have, a history fact, or even their business, how can they go about getting connected with you?
They can write us on Facebook. That's probably the easiest way. And then we've got our email on there. And
on that note, we do custom orders and things like that and we're finding that, that was a space we didn't think we could be competitive in, but as time goes on, we're realizing that no, we can be competitive. Both of our suppliers that we use actually have warehouses in Texas, so our turnaround times are really, really fast. So we'll do custom work for people, things like that,
And the quality, I'm not just saying it just because it's ours, but the quality is so nice. Like the shirts that we use, like the typical ones are Bella Canvas, and they're super, super soft. That's what everyone says. They're just like, I don't want to take it off. It's so soft,
Yeah.
I wish I could take credit for actually making the shirt, but not right now. But then like the colors, they pop, and they're
they do.
just anyway.
But
I'm a huge
I can tell by just looking from the camera. Yeah, I can see how detailed it is, and everything. And
yeah, Facebook's probably the easiest. We do have a website too, but the website is really just like a place to go and buy our stuff. But if you do want to do that, it's local-lore-apparel.square.site until we buy a domain name.
Yeah.
So how has the overall reception within Texarkana and the surrounding areas been towards your product?
We've been in business for about 2 months.
It's been really positive though.
Yes, like we on a business side, we haven't had a lot of like extra money brought in, but
Right.
what's big to me is coming in and like just like having faith that this is going to work, and we haven't had to put any of our money back into it.
Right.
So like that's a really big deal. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I don't know, it's been really good, and we've had a lot of people that we've even actually had to ship off to, people that were here at one point, and so
the cool thing to me is we're constantly getting messages of people, because early on I was my only hesitancy was like, are people going to get what we're doing, because it's not just a t-shirt company, and it's not just like memes on t-shirts or something like that, and I didn't know if people would quite understand what it was. But we're constantly like fielding messages from people that are like, oh, did you know this about the area? That would be a cool t-shirt design. Like, hey, did you guys know this?
So
and to me, it's just like, okay, people are understanding it and people are engaged. And so it's been exciting. Yeah.
You get a lot of buy-in. I go through your Facebook and I kind of read the post and the excitement that you're generating from your business. I think you latched on to something really good, because a lot of times people might not go read about history, but if they see a piece of history, they're going to ask questions about it.
Right.
So you're doing a good job with opening that door, not only just to your business, but people to learn about Texarkana. There's a lot of great things. There's a lot of great things that's going on here, from the spring that was in the park, and I used to remember when people used to go there, and as a child, and when I was elementary, we used to go to the zoo there. That was the zoo. That was the Texarkana Zoo.
Yeah.
So people used to fill up their jugs.
Yes, me and my mom, we always talk history. My grandmother was the very first Miss Texarkana.
Okay.
And so that, I don't know, there's something about just that, and then learning about how she had to make her dress. Her neighbor, she borrowed it from a neighbor and stuff like that. And then, I don't know, there's just certain things that you just go, okay, there's more like behind the scenes in history than meets the eye. And the more I've dug into stuff, because I love hearing stuff about the park. The park's been so many things.
Yeah.
And you learn that
fairgrounds, zoo.
There's been like a horse track around there, and then it was what was it? Some kind of I can't remember. Anyway, it's been a lot of things, and you just don't know those things without looking, Yeah. And
we live in a historical place, and like I said, people just take the time and just go to the park and read the little placards where you walk around history and talk about DeSoto, Hernandez, all that, the expedition, and all those things that came through this area. I think they'll start getting a new found love of what the place they live, and I think the work that you're doing, the products that you're introducing to our community, and the work that you're doing in the community is going to help that. So if you couldn't do a crystal ball, and I'm gonna wind you down. If you can do a crystal ball, what would you want or say you expect local law to be in 3 to 4 years?
Oh man. Man.
Well, there's a place across from the Pro that I really want.
She wants a storefront downtown.
Yeah, to be honest, like I love connecting with people, and I love downtown, and I would love to draw people downtown. And my thing is, like, I would love to have a place down there, but then we've also thought about, well, we've got to do more than just shirts.
For sure.
And so we're just like, okay, well, how do you do it? What do you do?
I think we just want to be like an inner cog and like an integral part of what goes on downtown, like, and I honestly, I don't know what that looks like, like we want to be more involved. We want to be advocates. We want to be like really proactive about like bringing commerce downtown and like uplifting and encouraging other people to kind of get started. And I know that sounds like I'm talking politics. I absolutely like abhor politics, and like I respect the people that do it, but that is not me. But as far as like I don't know what that what that looks like or anything, but I just want us to be sort of at the center of that, of pulling people together and making this happen.
If we can pull people together downtown, together, working on the same thing, having the same vision, because we really don't know a whole lot of people downtown yet.
Right.
We don't know everybody. but like I said, I don't really know them, but I just don't want to see, and I'm not saying it is this way either, but I don't want to see, this is mine, I don't want you to be a part of this because this is mine, this is my vision, this is mine. And it's so easy to get there.
Yeah.
And everything you do, really, but especially like in restoration of downtown, because it is so special to everybody. Right. Everyone feels like they want to be the pioneer. They want to be the one going forward. When really it just needs to be everyone together because it's easier together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joint effort.
Sure.
For sure.
Man, I really appreciate you guys coming on tonight. I can say now that I have 2 new friends in the community.
Definitely.
If I see you out, don't be shocked that I'll probably go start a conversation with you. But
hey man, I'm a hugger.
Hey, I'm good for it, man. I really appreciate you guys coming on. I'm looking forward to coming out Friday night and checking out what you got going on at the Offset Grill and meeting you in person, shaking your hand, and just saying hello. You're on the right path. You guys are doing a good job as being ambassadors for the community, for the city as a whole, for the region. And that's what I want to highlight. I want to be able to highlight people that are going out despite any negative that might be in the community, because there's negatives everywhere, but being able to highlight the positives that are going on. So that's our focus here at TXK State of Mind, and with the platforms that we try to introduce. But I really thank you for coming on. And as always, I like to give my guest last word. If there's anything that you want to impart to our guest or talk about, you have the stage right now to do so.
Okay. Well, I mean, we just appreciate your time. We're still new at this, and we're just kind of happy to be here. So,
if you want to see a change, be the change.
That's it.
All right.
Go be the change.
Everyone, we thank you for checking in for the first episode of our second season. This is episode 16. We have more to come. And as always, what's your TXK State of Mind? We'll tune in next week for another show. Thank you.